Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhoneBunch and today we are taking a look at the Meizu M2. Now this one is priced at Rs 6,999 and comes with a 5-inch display, sweet spot when it comes to smartphones these days. It packs a quad-core MediaTek processor with 4G capability and it is a dual SIM device. So let's have a look. Now this one comes with 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, a 13 megapixel rear, 5 megapixel front-facing camera. Pretty packed for the specs. And yes, it is the same design, unibody construction. You do get a very lengthy user manual there, a 2 amp USB wall charger, micro USB cable, but there's no headset within the box. Now let's have a look at the Meizu M2 itself. Let me just remove this plastic sheet right up top. Now you have a 5-inch HD display here. The front, I presume, is Asahi Dragon Trail glass, and the construction is very similar to what we get with the Meizu M2 Note as well. This is just smaller, slightly thicker as well, but still feels very good to hold. The buttons have excellent look and feel, very nice construction throughout, and the sides, which are rounded, do make the phone far easier to hold. The back does have a matte finish. It's not soft touch, but it still makes the phone grippier. At the top you have the audio jack. Now on the left you have the SIM card slot, and the micro SD card can be inserted in the second SIM card slot. So yes, a hybrid SIM card slot arrangement. Both SIM card slots take nano SIM cards if you were wondering. And yes, this is a 4G LTE device. The first SIM card slot supports 4G LTE. Coming to the bottom you have the speakerphone, primary microphone, as well as the micro USB data syncing and charging port. At the back you have a 13 megapixel camera, LED flash, and on the inside you have a 2500 mAh non-removable battery. The build is very solid on the device. Now at the top you have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, proximity and light sensors, along with the main earpiece. Coming to the bottom, there are no capacitive buttons for back or menu, just a single button which has a lot of functionality built in. Now the Meizu M2 runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop based FlyME OS 4.5. Now if you aren't familiar with FlyME OS, you can see our videos on the Meizu M2 Note or the Meizu M1 Note as well. It's quite different from stock Android. You have your notification quick toggles right up top though, and you have all your icons right on the home screen, all the app shortcuts, and you can also see the settings menu is quite different. And there you see Android 5.1 based FlyME OS 4.5 running on this device. Now you have 16 gigs of storage, out of which about 10 odd gigs will be available to you when you get this device. Now just like the M2 Note, this one also supports USB OTG, and we are playing a 1080p video right off the USB disk. And you can see that it plays flawlessly. And even after opening so many apps, you can see that we have more than 1.1 gig of RAM free out of the 2 GB RAM available on the device, so plenty there for multitasking. Now let's talk about this display. So it has very wide viewing angles and the color reproduction does seem to be quite accurate. Moreover, you can play with the color temperatures of this display by going into display settings. Overall, the touch response is pretty smooth as well. Now coming to the rear camera, it does focus in pretty quickly and the shutter speed is really good. That's good to see for a 13 megapixel camera, so the internal storage is pretty fast here it seems as well. You do have a manual mode available here, so you can control shutter speed, ISO, exposure, and there's a beauty mode, panorama, and you can also scan for QR codes right from the camera interface. You do have an HDR mode available and you can take 1080p videos with the rear camera. The 5 megapixel front facing camera seemed just about decent. There was quite a lot of noise, but I need to test it further. Now I've been using this phone for about a day and here are some of the samples that I took while I went out. So macro shots did turn out quite well, the camera focuses in quick and the color reproduction seems quite natural. Sometimes it does become a little oversaturated, but then again give me a little bit more time to test the camera thoroughly. Now let's talk about the software some more. So this is the default launcher. You can increase the number of home screens. Swipe from the bottom, you open up the task manager. You can switch between tasks from there. And if you long tap on any of the empty spaces, you can bring up the dialog to add widgets on the home screens. So that is not missing here. Overall, the interface is very smooth, but the entire interface is controlled by just this single button. So if I single tap on it, it behaves as a capacitive back button. If I press it, it behaves as the home key. If I long press it, it behaves as the power button. So again, if I long press it, it would just wake up the device. So lots of functionality with just a single button. It is actually very intuitive. Performance again is very smooth with this OS. We have already seen that even with the quad-core MediaTek MT6735, it does chug along pretty well. Pinch to zoom, scrolling in Chrome seems to be pretty decent. Apps open up very quickly as well, and you can multitask very easily. There's lots of free RAM. Very solid build and construction on this device. And at present, I do feel the cameras are pretty decent as well. So does the Redmi 2 Prime finally have a good competition in this price bracket? I actually think so. There are very few phones with 5-inch displays launched nowadays, and especially within less than rupees 10,000 price bracket. So the Meizu M2 definitely has a selling point, and as far as initial impressions go, it does look pretty impressive. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, let us in the comment section. Do hit that subscribe and like button to get our videos first. And as always, have a great day.